Well, there have been a number of independent clubs that were made up of people who owned SVT vehicles, and they were starting up in different parts of the country and were growing fairly well, but still it was very difficult for any one group of people in a local area to really expand significantly. And there was a club and still is a club that's kind of internet-based. So there's some of that, and there's kind of some local thing, but there wasn't really anything that really kind of tied it all together and made it easier for people to be part of it. And really that's what SVTOA is all about, is taking that enthusiasm and passion that people already have and giving them kind of an infrastructure support that helps them to do the fun stuff, not to worry about, how you're going to, take care of your legal issues and your tax issues and how to recruit people and set up your marketing materials and volunteers and scheduling, planning, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's really kind of more about when we give you some of that infrastructure to facilitate your ability to put on events and car shows and track days and all the fun stuff.
We're here at Gingerman Raceway in South Haven, Michigan, and we've got participants from Houston, Texas, from New York, New Jersey, California, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, literally all around the country. What makes these events tick are the instructors that I pull from literally all around the country. These are my in-car instructors, men and women from all around the country that have this infection of performance driving, and they are more than willing to share it with you as a student. what I really enjoy about the SVTOA on-track programs are getting the owners of SVT vehicles, the Focus, the Contours, the Lightnings, and of course the Cobra Mustangs, and getting the people out and enjoying their cars the way they're meant to be driven. But it's great seeing the camaraderie, the teamwork, and the fellowship that's out here for the men and women, the owners and the families that are out here having a good time, enjoying their SVT products.
I love the experience. I mean, everything we've done, the groups and stuff up north, you know, it's been great. Saturday, I'm looking forward to all the tours and stuff.
SVT invited me to come out and bring the car out. We run the car in the professional Grand Am Cup series. It's 2001 SVT Cobra. Pretty neat way for all the SVT owners to get together and have some fun.
I just joined a couple months ago because I bought this, I got this in November last year, yeah? It's insanely cool, yeah. This car is just a killer right from the factory, but you put a few relatively inexpensive bolt-ons and it's just beyond great. I mean,
Toby McCarthy from Grand Rapids, Michigan, about an hour away. I bought my car last December. Great power. Yeah, I've never been on this car. It's nice. Yeah, cool. Having a good time. I'm going to Detroit this weekend. I had a little bit of the Ford stuff, so.
My name is Mark Wilson. Let's see, I own a 93 Cobra R that I race, and my role in SVTOA is I'm the regional director for the Great Lakes region, and I'm actually putting on this event as well. And today's gone very well, considering everything. It's a Wednesday. It's a beautiful day finally. It's sunny. a unique event because this is the first SVTOA Intermediate Advanced event where we don't have any beginners here. We have 9 Cobra Rs, 2000 Cobra Rs, 295 Cobra Rs, 293 Cobra Rs, all raced, all run as hard as they possibly can. So it's a neat group, it really is. Today, considering it's a Wednesday, I would say that we have one heck of a week for the remainder of the week, quite honestly. And I'm excited to be part of it.
current Trans Am champion. Last year we won 8 of 12 races. Won the 100th race for Ford in the Trans Am series last year, which is kind of a milestone we're pretty proud of. I'm known as the hired gun for the Winston Cup road races, so done that for Ford the last few years. And basically I just came out here to hopefully help some people out and maybe give them some advice, give some rides around the track, and I think it's a pretty neat event. Looks like a lot of people are going to have some fun in their Ford Cobras. There's a lot of wild cars here, and I mean, you look at them and see where they've come from, Texas and Oklahoma, and I think the highway patrolmen are pretty busy on the way home after this. There's some pretty fast cars on the highway. basically, you know, what someone should have told me is driving's a game of mistakes. You know, if you're Dale Earnhardt or Dale Jarrett or, you know, Morissette or, you know, Juan Montoya, you know, there's never a perfect lap. So you're always trying to make yourself better and fix the mistakes you're making. It's a game of mistakes. So if you can make the fewer mistakes, you're going to get better. And, you know, it doesn't matter what level you're at, you can always be better.
Driving on 1996 Mustang Cobra. It's a little bit modified. It has a full grade suspension on it, roll bar, race seats, open tracking, and doing instruction since 1998. I've attended the Bondurant School. I'm an instructor for SVTOA and several of the other clubs. Probably one of the biggest thrills for me with the SVTOA experience. It's really a pleasure to watch a beginning student advance through teaching them things about car balance, how to rotate a car in a turn, how to do toe heel downshifting, trail braking, just in general, just car balance. A much safer driver on the highway after you've experienced something like this. And you have, without exception, the people that come to these kind of events come with a little bit of apprehension. They're not quite sure what they're going to expect out of an experience like this. And they leave just charged, and that is such a neat thing to watch that enthusiasm build. That's where really I get my most pleasure out of this, is watching the enthusiasm of other students and just how they progress through an experience like this.
Well, I started this car about 4 years ago, and I was 15, and I'm from Florida, so we drove it up here from there. Left Tuesday afternoon, so we got in last night, and we drove through the rain and all that lovely stuff, but it was fun. It was worth it. It was our first big road trip. It took me 3 years, and it was the 4.6 liter engine and the independent rear suspension and Mustang 2 front end, and me and my dad built it on the weekends and after school. 4.6 Cobra, 96.
Great.
Wonderful. Everyone's absolutely wonderful with the involvement of the club. They just kind of, I'm a new member and everything like that, but they're very interested in getting me involved and getting me and teaching everyone how to drive. We're here today, and then we're in the assembly building tomorrow with this car. We're in the cruise tonight, which will be fun.
It was neat. It was 3,200 and some miles. Via the scenic route. Okay, we took US 80 or Interstate 80 out from San Francisco to Des Moines, Iowa, and then up 35 to Duluth, and then across the northern tier of Wisconsin into the UP. Spent one night camping at the UP, and then down the west coast of Michigan to South Haven. That's it. Laps, riding as a passenger with Andy Slankard, who's the Focus program manager for SVT, and he knows how to drive a Focus, and he took me around in one of their factory cars, and boy did I learn a whole lot and knew about it. It is a whole lot safer, it's more sane, you know, to do this out here. But if you're racing around on the street, God, are you asking for trouble? I mean, it's just, you know, that's one of the things you realize when you're on the racetrack, once you've been on the racetrack. And, you know, all the students here are going to go away better drivers.
guys been SVTO members?
A couple of years. Mark asked to help out. I don't have an SVT, but I got a Mustang, and I help them with some of the road course events, and I help instruct for the road courses there.
Great.
Really good, really good. Only one of my friends blew an engine. Yeah, and everyone else had a good time.
Tell them about your sore back.
Yeah, sore back. Too many guys have nice seats for the driver, but the passenger seats are slippery leather seats.
Oh.
I'm kind of sore today. Being a member, it's they put on a good show usually. You get to hang out with a bunch of people that I like at once.
From San Diego, California, El Cajon, a suburb of San Diego, but I've recently just moved back here, and 2 weeks ago I brought this across just for this event. SVTOA, this was the first time I was involved with this car here, and they've been a pretty open group. Even the regional director out in San Diego, Jim, he always is there for most of the events. Matter of fact, he probably has some of the heaviest foot of all the cars on the runs there is too. And racing with Ford, I've been doing now for 35 years, so this is just a bigger go-kart. Yeah, this is that don't be afraid to drive the car for what it's made to do.
Well, I got the map of the car, actually.
I just get together with a bunch of guys with similar vehicles and similar interests, and you know what? It's whenever I go to CLT, it's like a high school reunion. It's like seeing your old buddies you haven't seen in a long time. You just click right together and you have a great old time.
My first 10 races have been all top 10 finishes. And my 11th race, I came in 13th. It's got to be exhilarating. And I just started road racing in October. It's been good for me, and I'm also lining up other people to start learning to do road course and lining them up for either drag, the road course. We're doing cruises. So I get to help instruct and help them. I came up here with my wife, and she's got a 72 Mach that I raced her Ford's 35th Mustang anniversary at Charlotte. Did you? Yeah. Took her car off on it. That's good. Ended up doing her so.
This is something for a father and son. Yeah. He just graduated from college. Last time he was just finished his freshman year. So this is just absolutely super.
Yeah. The instructors were tremendous. They should join their local SVTOA track. They definitely should. Well, I know the car can handle. I know it can stop on a dime. Also get you to look ahead. The biggest thing, one of the biggest things they taught you is not to look where you're going, but actually look ahead of where you're going. And it works out tremendously. So it's what you were taught when you originally drove the car. You shouldn't be looking in front of you. You should be looking at what's going on down the road. And it works. You go into SVT, they have a chat line online. If you're having a problem with your car, if you have a question about your car, there's everybody that has one has access to that website. So it makes it a lot easier to get information, to disperse information among other members, to ask a question of 30 guys, 40 guys, 130 guys at a time. Whoever's online at the time.
I joined SVT in January of 1994. So the person ahead of me was Janine Bay, and Rod Mansfield was the first engineering manager of SVT. Well, I was just telling somebody, look around you, look at the fan base you got. If this doesn't tell you that you got a product that's connecting with your customer, I don't know what does. I mean, look as far down that way as you can look, and even this way. I just think what Ford did here is just great. You know, you got the Ford Racing stuff here, you got the SVT stuff here, and if you look down there, look at it, you got Shelby, Roush, Celine, Sean Hyland, you got everybody. It's like, okay guys, anybody that's into these specialty Fords, let's get them all together and look at all the pizza. It just says, I think, you're connecting with the customer, and it's more than just I sold you something. It's we got a relationship going. And as you know, the SVTOA, there's a staff in Dearborn that's trying to help people in the local chapters coordinate events and set up events, and really just keep this thing going in terms of more of a social thing than a business thing. Tremendous support. As a matter of fact, like I say, we have a sort of a headquarters staff, and I can tell you they modeled it after the Harley Owners Group in terms of how Harley helps the local chapters. We've got tremendous support at senior management level. We review the stats of SVTOA at every one of our what we call our stakeholders meetings with our senior management. As you all know, we just introduced the new F-150 Lightning. I mean, we just introduced the F-150, so it shouldn't be too far of a stretch to imagine we're going to do a new F-150 Lightning. And the fact that we did a concept truck at this year's auto show should give you kind of a clue as to the direction we're taking it. With regards to the Cobra, you saw the new Mustang that they announced for 2005. Again, it shouldn't be too much of a stretch to imagine we're going to do a next generation Cobra also. I will tell you one thing, this Cobra is going to be a tough act to follow. This is a strong car. Also, we're going to be introducing the Ford GT, which adding a sports car to the family is really kind of nice. And then beyond that, who knows? But I think we're trying to grow the business, do it in a nice, business-like way, and we want to be the best specialty manufacturer amongst all the OEMs.
Being my wife and I turned 40 a few years ago, and it was a birthday present to both of us, and that's how the car came into being. And from that day on, we just take it out on Sundays and just ride around, have a good time.
Got a 4-pound pulley, I got a super chip in there, and it runs at the crank about 530 horsepower, so I'm really impressed with the truck. I'm happy with it. Great time.
What do you think of the event?
While you are traveling the road during our centennial celebration,
car shows,
please
lot
be
to
sure
look
to
at.
check your passport booklet.
Love it. Best cars, best handling, best overall performance there is. May not have 400 horsepower, but it's a good car. It's great. Ford Motor is a good company. I actually work for Ford Motor, and I think this Centennial is it's unbelievable. It's a great accomplishment for the company, and having people out here enthusiasts to get involved is even better.
Yeah.
in 1995, we at Roush figured that we needed to come up with a car for the performance enthusiast. We came up with our stage line. We have 3 stages of Roush cars. We have stage 1, stage 2s, and stage 3s. The stage 1s are basically a V6 car. It's got the look, it's got the performance and the handling, but it doesn't have the big engine. Then we go up to the stage 3 cars on the top end, and we come up with 380 horsepower cars that pull 1.0 on the skid pad. These are probably some of the rarest cars you're going to find in the future. We're only building 300 or 400 units of the supercharged cars every year. And we divide that by colors, there's probably going to only be about 10 or 15 of each color we ever make every year. Hopes, convertibles, 18-inch tires, wheels, they got suspensions underneath. We put baffled fuel cells in the tanks. Put 38-pound injectors in the motors, intercoolers, actually work with 100 degrees of cooling temperature. They have really efficient coolers on them. They only run 6 pounds of boost and we get 380 horsepower and 380 foot-pounds of torque. That's pretty good considering the Cobras run 8 pounds and they're only running 390 horsepower. So in comparison, we're getting a lot more horsepower per pound of boost.